What's going on, guys? Welcome to our London live trading session. So today's focus is going to be on UK CPI data. And this is going to be extremely, hopefully, we could get a good print here that could give us a really clear edge moving forward, especially for trading the pound. Yesterday, we had labor data for the UK, and it was good. Like, it came out higher than expected, right? Which it led to buys just later on, like really later on US session. I'm not expecting that type of delayed reaction here, even if we get a higher or weaker print. It should be a good, hopefully, if we get a good opportunity, as we can see, they're pretty much expecting CPI to come in lower. if we if we get that lower print coming in play, just like New Zealand, would have had a lower CPI. Just every single time we trade CPI data, it should be a really good reaction. Just because this is going to increase the odds of the next step from the next rate decision from especially from the Bank of England. Inflation is more of a focus. It's not the job data. It's in the CPI. But sometimes job data does also give an additional edge. But for this one, CPI is really what Governor Bailey is going to pay attention to. So this should be pretty simple, straightforward. If we get weaker CPI across the board, that is going to increase the odds of pound weakness. All right. So we're going to be looking for pound to sell off if we get red across the board. If we get green across the board, that should increase the odds of pound strength. All right. So we're going to see the pound push higher if we get a higher print. Both is going to be a really good opportunity. But the better odds will be if we get a weaker CPI print, because now this could be the start of the Bank of England talking about rate cuts. We're going to see the odds of the markets anticipating that the BOE is going to be cutting rates for the next meeting, right? That's going to be a good opportunity. Definitely looking for the markets is just waiting for that reason. We just haven't had any reason regarding data to just support a weaker pound at all. So if this will be the start, this could definitely be the start of a change around, but if not, this is just going to help the Bank of England stay restrictive. And it should just help the pound stay stronger or help the pound consolidate, just make it a lot more confusing in order to get a direction, right? So it should be just very simple. Now just looking at pairs of trade. So shouldn't be that hard regarding this print, just like yesterday should be a very, yeah, like the fact of how the pairs are in a range again. Bam bam. Yeah, I could put this area as structure too. All right. Yeah, so pretty much if we see that this data comes out higher than expected, right? We got about 10 minutes pretty much. We're going to be seeing pound break resistance to the upside. It's going to break these two areas of structure because these are the next two areas of resistance, So we're going to see these areas get broken, and we're going to just see the pound continue give us that continuation of strength. If we see that the pound data comes in lower than expected, weaker CPI, we're going to be ideally taking sales below that 195.100 or 195.0 is going to be ideal for this session. Or if you just want to be safer and take the sales below that 0.800, those going to be like the two areas of interest I would focus on moving forward. All right, I'm gonna be focusing on GJ. Ideally, it's like the Bank of Japan did announce, yeah, like what they said was ideally what they always do, but it does increase the odds that the BOJ is like the only central bank that's pretty much in line of doing rate hikes compared to other central banks. So ideally, I still like the idea of potential buys if we get those opportunities for that pair. Even dollar pound, pound dollar is going to be coming out. Same idea of how we're going to be looking at GJ. It's pretty much ideally the same. Nothing really different. We're just going to be waiting for that break of structure. So if we get a stronger pound, we're going to see data come in green, right? That's going to give us that break of structure, should give us a little more confidence with the direction. So we're going to see the pound staying above that 30 point, that 3,800 area. We're going to see the pound stay above that zone if we get a stronger print. If we get a weaker print, we're going to see this pair stay below that 3,600, pushing this pair lower, right? So that's going to be the odds when it comes to this pair. Let me see. I think got GBP NZD, GBP AUD. I know what most of you trade. Pound. Let me see. Euro pound. Put that back down there. Pound CAD. If we get a stronger print, that should be a good one. Yeah, we got pound CAD right here. Yeah, I think that should really be it. Uh, shit, yeah, no reason to go crazy with it. Yeah, pound CAD will only be if we get a higher print. That should support buys here for pound CAD, and the same thing with pound NZD. Like if we get a lower print, that would be ideal for those buys. All right, so I'm gonna just look at it. Like obviously, it's gonna go in the opposite direction, but the other pairs, it's just that Australia and New Zealand has been dovish too, but price action is going to be the same for all those pairs, no matter what. Like if we get a stronger pound, we're going to see all the pounds react stronger. If we get a weaker pound, we're going to see all the pound pairs react weaker. But if you just want to be selective, there's definitely really good opportunities here for potential. If we get a stronger CPI print, like taking advantage of euro pound to the downside, right, would probably be the best opportunity just because of, just having a weaker euro, having a weaker New Zealand, weaker CAD data, weaker New Zealand data, and it's current. So that's the reason why. All right. Let me put the arrows here. So if we get stronger data, that's what we're going to see. Right. So that's going to be the direction. If we get green across the board, if we get red across the board, I really like obviously below for GJ below 0.600 is ideal, but for this one, if we stay below that 195.0, that's what's going to help those cells for GJ. GBP dollar. below 3,600. And then, yeah, all the other pairs is simply the same. You're just going to wait for the opposite direction, but it just depends. It's selective. Like whatever pairs y'all guys are comfortable with trading, it's going to be completely up to you. And just remember, like last time, like sometimes it's like you could pick the wrong pair. It happens. Like we can't really help it, but hopefully, all the pound pairs should really react pretty smoothly, from this print. Hopefully we shouldn't really get a big issue with this one, but again, we never know. Yeah, just put it here. I know there's a lot of data coming out. Like we got PPI metrics as well, RPI, but CPI, especially core, is going to be really the focus for this print as well. So we just want to try to narrow the focus to just pretty much CPI. That's really what the entire markets is going to be really focusing on is these prints right here. So, yeah, we got 5 minutes. Hopefully, it's very simple. This is inflation. So remember that this data can be very volatile. All right, guys. So just try to be prepared for this event. Like it's CPI, it could be very, very volatile. I don't want you guys to understand that, if you're waiting for a trade, like it's CPI, before we even how like I said, for every print, is like it could happen very quick. Like it could happen in milliseconds. We could see a reaction at a pound. Typically, I like to hover over the cells because I will want to expect a weaker. I want to see red across the board. So once we start seeing brace of structure and then the data confirm it, that this should help those cells come in play. And the same thing for the opposite. Just because we're not hovering over it, it may be a little delay in the reaction because we could possibly see the moves happen before we could see the data. It has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with the terminal. It's just that we don't have fiber optic cables like in like banks and algorithms. So it doesn't matter what platform that you're on. Sometimes you get it seconds, like it takes seconds, but like they get it in milliseconds. And for us, it may just that little second sooner, and then us reacting, we're not going to move as quickly as algorithms. So if you miss the move, you miss the move. All right. And then the next, I don't think we have any other opportunities today. Other than this, is just yeah, it's nothing over New York. After this is just gonna be yeah, pretty much after this is just New York. Yeah, I think it's Asian session after this. All right, for like tradable opportunities, I think we have Australia's labor data later, Asian session, but New York, nothing major, just price action. But yeah, after this, that's it. Like yeah, nothing else is major for today. So hopefully we get a good move, man. If not, we always live for another day. All right, guys, but we should be able to be chill. This should be very simple for today. CPI is very straightforward. So hopefully we don't have to really fight as much. What we're gonna stay away from though is that the data comes in mix. If we see core and monthly comes in different, we see green and red coming in, if it comes in mix is not tradable, right? If it comes in as expected and then it's one color, red or green, most likely is going to go in that direction of that color, right? So even if like say if like monthly comes in as expected, but we see the yearly comes in lower, right? It may this will weaken the pound, and the same thing for the opposite. If it comes one data, everything comes the same, and then one is higher, is most likely going to show a higher print. It's not going to probably be long, but it's going to go the direction of the data. But if it comes in mix, it's not tradable. All right, so that's what we stay away from. Can't force an opportunity. If we don't see data as clear, we just there's nothing we can do about it. We have to stay away. All right. So that's what we have to focus on too. Like, be very want data to be clear because it could be mixed and we see some volatile reactions. It doesn't mean that you take a trade. Not every candle is tradable. So we need something very clear in order for us to take advantage of it. All right. So we got about 35 seconds. Just get prepared, get ready for it. Me, I'm looking at GJ. Obviously, GJ and GU. Those are the two best options for me. Everything else is completely up to you guys, whatever you feel comfortable with. And I do want to see a weaker print. Hopefully, we get a weaker one. All right. All right. So we got about 15 seconds. All right. 10 seconds. Eight, seven, six, five, four, three, two, one. All right. Let's see. Pound is pushing lower. So everything came in red across the board. So I'm in sells on GJ. All right. I'm in GJ sells. So this should weaken the pound. All the metrics came in lower. There should be sells for the pound for the session. All right. I'm in sells in GJ. So GU, all the pound, like red should be the direction for today. All right. Services, headline services came in lower by surprise at a 49. So that should definitely help sales right now. It's pushing in those sales lower. So this should really be some good opportunity for sales for the rest of the session. I'm hoping for a weaker pound. This is what they needed. This is what we needed to get those rate cuts coming in. Definitely, this is what we needed. So yeah, I'm in GJ sales. Yeah, like yeah, this is what we needed. Definitely. Yeah, that's why like you keep that's why I had the finger over the sell button, so you're able to capitalize on it. Like if it was buys, then yeah, it'd be like a delayed reaction. Like you should get in it's a lot harder if you're like not hovering over it. So do you trade after? I don't understand your question. It's like you're here while I'm trading live news, and then you're asking me a question that we just did live right in front of you. I don't know which like I don't. I'm in sales in GJ. Like I have the arrows of interest. Told you hover over the cells when the data comes in, it breaks structure. That's where you enter the cell. So the data came out. It came in red. That was the reason for the cells. And this is data, like Mac. This is major news. This is data. We just and it's like you're typing as it's happening. So if you don't understand, it's because you literally typed at you literally writing at 2 a.m. and the data just came out. And then Nyla just typed at 2:01. I think I close my GJ buys while you should be in sales and you're typing. Like I don't. So y'all should have no problem with entries if you're able to type instead of enter a position. Like that. Yeah. Yeah, like unless you're in sales and then type. Like, but it should no be reason that y'all should say, "Oh, I missed it. I don't know what's going on," and you literally typed as that should be your entry for sales. And GJ pulled back. and GJ didn't breaks pull. GJ was still hovering around 190, 194.800, and you could have entered again and got sells. So yeah. Oh, okay. I mean, it was nothing to just observe. This was a easy trade. Like, I don't know what is there to observe. Like that this lower inflation, you take a trade. Like, why not take this is the easiest opportunity you could take. Like, why observe it? Like, why buy when there's no reason to buy? Well, yesterday there was reasons to buy, but when you get sales and CPI, this is something you just don't trade. I don't know. I mean, yeah, like yeah, you trade what's easiest for you. It's no piggy. Everybody's different. I understand. Yeah, but yeah, and I'm just speaking for everybody else. Just like don't do that. Like when we looking at the event just came out. I mean, it's a swing trade. I mean, everybody think everything's a swing trade. The only way this is going to be a swing trade is like if you leave your stops above, if you're in GJ cells, leave your stops above 195.600 and just leave it. And do not adjust your trade and just see if it and just let it and leave it. Let it go. Go to bed right now. Just close the chart and just see what happens in a week. That's how you hold for a swing trade. It's just you can't break even now and then expect it to hold for 2, 3 weeks. Like price is going to fluctuate. Even though that this is pushing lower, what's going to happen is GJ may still come back up to 195.200 by next week and then drop later on, right? So it's just not like now it's just going to drop another 1,000 pips. It's not going to happen. Markets move up and down, even though that the trend could still be lower, but markets still move up and down. So if you want to catch a trade for a lot longer, and it also depends what you consider a swing trade. Like if this is literally over 100 pips, like you just got that in a matter of minutes compared to catching 100 pips in 3, 4 days, right? So I know the idea of a swing trade is thinking of holding a trade for multiple days, but a swing trade is holding pips for like holding a trade for for multiple pips because you don't want to hold a trade for 3 days and only catch 50 pips, right? Like you literally got that in seconds. So it's just about how many pips are you trying to get? How long are you holding it until we have a reason for the pound to be stronger? Then that's different. I don't think that we should get a stronger pound unless the Bank of England tell us otherwise right now. So if you want to hold until we have that reason, you still can't you just can't adjust your stop loss. You just have to just leave it where it is. But if anything of uncertainty, just take profits and then just let the rest run and then just leave a position. Even if it's like a 0.001, just leave it and let it run. So at least you could get the idea of holding trades longer. But this should be the start of a weaker pound. But, like most people don't have that consistency of winning. So that's why I just choose that this was easy. Just take the win, like just win, be profitable for the day. Like that's why I always recommend that first, just win, take partials, win for the day. But for those that are a little consistent, now you just have to hope that we have a stronger yen, or if you're in a GU, you just want to hope that you have a stronger dollar, right? GA, you hoping that AUD remains weaker, like, I mean, stronger, so it's like you have to focus on a secondary pair too. Uh, yeah, good job, Trent. You've been killing it, dude. Areas like right now is a good area to take profits. I mean, it's really like if you're looking for targets, like right now is a good area to take profits. Like you should literally be over up over 50, 60 pips, you know, so that right now is a good area to take profits. But targets like 193, you know, like we still got all of London. Like we still do. But if that's your target, Rob, right? Are you comfortable with the idea that this could possibly pull back and then drop later on? Are you comfortable with that? If you're not, then right now is your time to take profits, right? So that's what you have to understand. You know, like, are you comfortable with that? That price can push up, stop you out, come all the way back up, stop you out, and then drop later on in the day. Are you comfortable with that? Like, are you comfortable with just leaving your stops above 195.600 or like 195.700? Because if price breaks above there, that would really make no sense. You get what I'm saying? So if you're comfortable leaving your stops that high, then you could possibly use that as a target. But if you break even, right? Are you comfortable with that trade getting stopped at a break even if you're anywhere in here and then hoping that it doesn't stop you out and then dropping to your target? So that's how you really have to think about it, you know, because price could literally just pull all the way back and then drop later on. It could do that still, you know, like the pound could be bearish for the whole day, but probably in the next hour we could get a little bit of pulls, we could get a little bit of a pullback, stop you out, fuck you up a bit, and then it could just drop for the rest of the day, you know. So it's a possibility, or this could just continue to melt from here on out for the rest of the day too. So it's just that pullback, are you comfortable with that? You know, I think that's just the thing you have to really think about is literally that pullback. And the same thing for every other pair, like GUTP, like we broke support. So you look to the left, like you could put a target at 1.3 thousand, right? You could put that as a target. But are you comfortable with the fact that if this pulls back, are you comfortable with that? Are you okay? Are you going to be able to let that slide? Right. So if not, then take your partials now, take profits now. Everything should be over 30 pips. At least everybody should be over 25, 30, 40 pips. So taking that as a win in second minutes, getting over 50 pips in minutes is great. Most people can't get 50 pips in 10 minutes. This is great. You know, so you don't want to kill yourself with greed. You know, so like you have to do what's comfortable for you and your account. Like I did my job, you know, where I helped y'all get the direction, understand the direction, and take the trade. Now, when it comes to you know how much money you want to secure is literally up to you. You know, like what makes the most sense to you of how you want to secure. I just have to make sure you guys win and win consistently, even if it's five fucking pips. I don't care, but you should win. But everybody should at least be at break even, and I did my job. All right, but the rest about how long you want to hold the trade long is completely up to you because everybody's emotions towards money is different. One person is satisfied with five, another person is satisfied with 3,000, another one's 300. One person is trading one person is trading a prop firm, another's trading live. You know, one person is using this to withdraw to pay a bill. Another person is just letting their account run up. Everybody emotions is different. You have to figure out what is the best for you. What is this situation that's happening now is pound sells, but what is the best option for you at this moment? And just stick with it. But do not let today end up in a loss. That's the only thing. All right. So don't make it harder than what it really have to be. You know, like literally, don't make it harder. Like this was a easy fucking trade. Yeah, like don't make today harder than what it is. Like if you're not sure, then take the win and then literally winning is great. Don't be like, man, what if I would have held this shit forever? We trade live every single day. There's plenty of more opportunities. But this is one that you should not let go. That's why I didn't really get it. Like you like, yeah, just yeah, this one I'd rather just watch. Like that doesn't make sense to me. This is the one where we've been waiting for the whole week. But at least y'all see the direction. Y'all know why. I explained it 30 minutes before, why this was a big move, why we was waiting for this, and then this is the direction. This is what we wanted. So hopefully you guys understood it. This is what it would have been a lot of if labor data would have came out lower, that would have been the opportunity. But do you see why buying from the labor data, why holding those buys wasn't ideal? Why taking advantage of pound strength was only a scalp? Because that was not the major direction, right? So look at what's going on now. So like hopefully like when you start looking at the live videos and going back to how analyzing these pairs come in play now, right? That's what's really going to help. That's what helps with swing trades. This is what helps with understanding a scalp compared to a swing. Like just look at the volume of the move. All that shit matters. So it's really good to see it, because this is the opportunities that we want is stuff like this. All right, guys, just put a one in the chat. This is the direction for the day. I'm not focusing on anything else. This was it. Uh, yeah, good question, Rob. I didn't, I know most of you guys are focusing on these geopolitical tensions. I know some of you are there. Let me see. Yields is pushing lower, but dollar is gaining strength. I'm not seeing a risk off market, which is because gold. I know, let me see with China. All right, so it's China. Let me see. China is willing to work with Russia. What we got so far is China stressed urgent need to take target security measures in Pakistan. Just reading the headlines on a live feed. The only thing I see right now is China support. China. Yeah, so China, Pakistan, they're willing to join and build growth corridors. All right, so they're talking about China's growth. All right, reform will continue to accelerate construction of support facilities. All right, so China is helping Pakistan rebuild. China is good at owning other countries, putting other countries in debt, like what they do in Africa. But how does this actually help China itself? And then it looks like, yeah, because I know that China and Russia was going to have a meeting today. Yeah, so Israel attacks southern. I mean, I'm not really seeing headlines like no, because like this is like that. If that is fear, like gold is pushing up. I like the yields is pushing lower, which makes sense. But we see that dollars pushing up too. So this should be a risk off market, which should still help. It should still help those GJ cells, right? But look at the currency space. I would expect NZD, AUD, and CAD pushing like at least AUD and NZD pushing lower. Yen gaining strength that should help our trade. Swiss is pushing up a bit. Dollars pushing up. Like ideally, it's kind of looking. I would say it like if I had to look at this, like it kind of does look a bit risk off to me. It kind of does. So it is a possibility that Israel attacks southern. It could be. I don't see any headlines. What time did that happen though? Yeah, because I don't see because the like obviously the because those type of headlines too is gonna come from all right, yeah, it came at 11. All right, yeah, this was at 11:54. I see it now, 11:54. So these moves for the dollar is happening now. Gold is pushing up now, so that came out at 11:54, and we're seeing gold push up now. So I don't really like, I can't really like it's sometimes like, because this is London session too, that most of the time that like this is where a lot of volume is coming in. It is a possibility, but at the moment I can't see this. It doesn't look like market fear to me. This just seems like it's not even the reactions from the Bank of England markets expecting the Bank of England to cut rates, because sometimes we get overreactions in this way. But this does look like when looking at the dollar and the yields and gold, because dollar and gold pushing up at the same time this way typically does give me a market fear move. So it's a possibility. It's a possibility. No, United Kingdom cutting rates has nothing to do with gold. Either it's the odds of China working with Russia, and it could be because of those headlines coming in. Because China's growth does help spike gold higher too. If China has good growth, but but yeah, it's a possibility. Like, thanks, Rob. That was really good. Good job pointing that out. But yeah, I'm not seeing that risk off response because I'm not seeing AUD and NZD push lower. So I'm not seeing that type of response yet. This is not a buy in commodities as a whole, because copper, iron ore is still pushing lower. Oil's not reacting at all. So yeah, like it's seeing dollar and gold push up this way, it does give me those type of risk off vibes, and yields is lower. Typically it does. Equities, we see that NAS US 30 is pushing a bit lower. It kind of does give me those risk off vibes. It kind of is, but yeah, yeah, the pound. Everybody should be in pound sales. If we see a good pullback in GJ later, would it be? You should be in the sales now, Farzan, when the data came out. Like if like, yeah, you should be in the sales already. This is why I trade live. Like yeah, like good job, anime. Like it's amazing. Like when it comes to trades, like we trade at a certain time because that's the time to execute on the trade, because that's where we tend to get a lot of the volume. So if it pulls back, that's not typically what you want to see for the direction that you want. But the same technicals still applies. Like if we hit like a key area, like I would look at it from this perspective. Like if we I appreciate you. Hold on, let me show you an idea of what to do. Give me one sec. Yeah, good job. Like, I'm glad that you took that. Like, so pretty much what I was gonna say when what you want now, like, it's hard because this is what exactly, Kelly. You know, like trying to look for re-entries is kind of hard in this. Like you could because now it's about timing, right? Like usually like 245 to like 345. Like what you want is in the lower time frames, you want to see a support form, and then you want to see a range with like probably like the 5 minute or the 1 minute, right? So you want to see price like reject the support, push up, then you want to see it form a low, right? What you call like a double bottom, and then reject. Then you want to see price kind of like bit consolidate, but you want to see a support form clearly because if price continues to push up, but the way you look to re-enter is if price starts breaking back below that support again, then that gives you that those confirms that price is going to push lower. So that's what you pretty much wait for is a support to try to form, and then wait for that support to re-break again, because it's not ideal that we could. All right, now is it makes because if price comes all the way back up here, then I wouldn't be looking for any sells because price pushing all the way back, recovering half of this move to me wouldn't make sense. So I wouldn't be looking to re-enter sells at all. If that happens, I would just typically stay away. But if you get like a little pullback, recovering probably a little bit of the move, something in that favor, and then you could identify an order block and then take the entries as we break support again, you could do that as well, you know, but you can't really call a bottom. You know, you don't want to really call a bottom, but that's what I would look for, you know, if you want to do that. But again, those are risky trades. So, but you just can't expect if you see a whole like it recovers 50 to 60% of the move, don't try to look for reentries because then that's telling you that the markets are they're probably taking profits at those areas anyway. I mean, yeah, never we don't know. Like if we do, we'll be billionaires, you know, but only thing that we could like know now is just know to enter why we entered from the data and enter from there. And then it's just like if you just don't kick yourself in the foot, like if you took profits, you took profits. Just remember, like what I care about is you guys remembering how this trade went, how easy it was, because like last week where there was no opportunities like that, and it's because none of those opportunities was as clear as what it was today. This is what you want to take advantage of, and this is how you could remain profitable for a very long time by waiting for these moves, right? Because most people need about 8 trades or 10 trades just to get 100 pips. You could literally get that in one good trade, right? 200 pips from these moves if you just wait for these type of opportunities, you know? So this is like, just remember how it feels, how easy it was. As soon as you entered, it was straight profits, all because we understood why, you know? So maybe later today over New York, there's really nothing going on, right? So just remember how this felt. So you know the difference between taking a good trade compared to taking a bad trade. All right. Because this is what you need to remember, guys, is why we wait for these opportunities, you know, and then when we get the opportunity, we take it. Don't sit on our hands on these opportunities. We take them. Okay. We sit on our hands when there's no reason to trade, but in these type of opportunities, this is when we don't sit on our hands. Like Kelly is a perfect example. We waited all week, and then this was the right opportunity, you know. But she'd been here for a while, waiting for this, so she understood. She understands, you know. But you guys did amazing. I did a good job. The only thing I could really say is when the data comes out and it comes out at 2 and it's 2 o'clock and people is typing, I don't recommend that. You know, you should be in a cell. Like I literally go over this for 30 minutes and I give trade ideas, breaks of structure. And areas breaks a structure and nobody can say, oh, this shit was too quick, but you was typing 2 3 sentences before the data comes out. You can't do that. You have to be prepared to enter the trade. All right, that's the only thing, you know. Like Mac, to answer your question, like this is news, this is data. Like you literally was we watched us wait until the print comes out. We waited to the break of structure, then we entered. Like if it's quick, it's because it's new to you. So it's gonna feel like impossible at first, but eventually, the more you show up, you're gonna be able to take advantage of it. It just takes time. but this is news. This is major data because this is CPI. We waited for the print to come out. We saw the direction of the pound and we took the trade. So the yes, everything you said is what we did for. But yeah, guys, that's really it. Yeah, like it just threw me off. Like it's like I say like this color is red. All right, guys. It's gonna turn red in 3 seconds. Three, two, one. All right, color's red. And then you ask me, hey, is this color red? You know, like it threw me off. Like, yeah, we're gonna trade this data at 2, and then when the data comes out, we enter cells, and then it happened, and you like, hey, is this actual data we focus on? So it didn't make sense to me. But if you're new to it, then I understand, you know. So that's why like it's fine, but it just takes time, you know. But like I did say, you know, like, hey, even if you don't know what's going on, yeah, Rob. At least you could have hovered over the cells and entered that shit when it broke. What's funny too with gold, I was telling Carlos that I was like, when you did that interview, I didn't hit 27 yet, but I said when you did that interview, it was days before. So I said when that bitch hit 27, at least you have a reason for it because most people don't like that. Like most people don't believe it. But yeah, like it breaks the structure on gold. It was a really good trade. I just wasn't focused on it. Like it's just kind of weird how the markets is act. But this is like to me, just looking at gold, like this to break a structure. Like it's hard to pinpoint why this is happening. But watch Bloomberg, guys. I think Bloomberg is live right now. Watch Bloomberg. Like that should give you an idea of why that's happening. It should because they should talk about it, about what's really going on. You're gonna come across a actual headline talking about like they're gonna talk about what's going on with gold eventually. You know because there's really nothing else to really talk about for the day. So eventually in Bloomberg they're gonna talk about it. All right, guys. So typically, like if you're a little confused about what's going on, just remember too, you could go to these. I have it here. Just go right here. News link data. You could look at Think. You could look at Reuters, Bloomberg. You type in those. Just click those links, and then they're gonna have articles. And one of those articles should like really give you an idea of what's going on. All right, guys. So just and pretty much like everything that we say, they just type it all afterwards. So you should be ideal about it. But go to those links, and then like usually there'll be an article there explaining what's going on, you know, and I would help you guys. Yeah, good job today, guys. You're fucking amazing. Your dudes are awesome. You're doing so good. Trust me, man. This is what y'all need to do. But all right, guys. Thank you guys for being here. All right, Patrick is not acting freaky today. So, all right, this is a good day. All right, guys, have a good one. And I'll see you guys for New York session.